Good morning. It's November 23rd, 2011, day before Thanksgiving. Last Sunday, I did a round trip went up near Rochester, New York, from here in Moton, from my house in Moton, over to Brooklyn, New York, and then back home. Well, if you know Matthew Cohn from the TV show Oddities on Science Channel, he had posted up that he needed some help, needed somebody to pick some stuff up and run it back to his apartment in Brooklyn. And I jumped on that opportunity. So I left. I won't bore you with the details. It really wasn't. It was an uneventful long drive up until New York, but had my alarm set for 1 o'clock. I must have turned it off in my sleep. I ended up waking up at 2:45, so I left late, but I ended up getting there a half hour early anyways. I was supposed to meet him up at his friend's house at 9 o'clock. I got there at 8:30, 8:40, around there. The only really thing that happened along that trip was I almost hit a deer on 61 in Hamburg, but he got smart and turned back around from the shoulder instead of trying to run across the street. So anyways, I get up to New York, I meet Ryan for the first time, and I meet Kathy and Katie, were his friends, and there was, I can't remember the guy's name, I'm sorry. They were really nice. I didn't stay too long because I wanted to get rolling because I knew I was going to get late. It was a long drive. It was about 4 hours, 4.5 hours to Brooklyn from there. And I didn't take the thruway. I ended up going down 17 to 81 through Scranton and then over so I could avoid tolls. So I only stayed about 20 minutes. We loaded up his 5 boxes. They were heavy in glass and full of, well, antiquities and oddities. I take off. Now this is in my 85 Ford Ranger. I didn't know if I was going to make it or not. Life is too short not to take chances. So it was pretty much a long, boring, uneventful ride to Brooklyn, to Manhattan. If I had taken the thruway, I could have came down to BQE, but I ended up going through the Holland Tunnel. And I had texted Ryan, said I was going to be there. I was only 6 miles away. It was going to be 10 minutes. Turned out it was going to be 50 minutes later because I sat in traffic at the Holland Tunnel and then through Lower Manhattan, which next time I remember, that's a mistake. Don't do that. It's rough, and it really is an art driving around Manhattan and New York City. It takes about 50 minutes to go 5 miles. 5.5 miles, something like that. So I get to Ryan's house. His apartment is on the 3rd floor. I meet his roommate, Serge, and we proceed to carry the boxes up the steps. Some of them were heavy enough that you needed 2 people to carry. Well, most of them we needed 2 people to carry them, except for maybe 1. They were pretty heavy. They were glass jars full of liquid and different kinds of things. If you've seen the show Oddities, you'll know what I'm talking about. You need to check out his personal collection. And you'll see some pictures. I'll have some pictures here come up as I talk. He's got some skeletons. He's got all different. He's got taxidermy. He had some horses' heads. Even has some old guns on the wall. I didn't get a picture of those, but I'm sure he's put them up on his Tumblr. I'll link his Tumblr down in the description box. And his collection is amazing. He's got all kinds of different stuff. He just acquired a 12-year-old boy's skeleton, which is really cool. And he just sold one on eBay. But he's got some skulls, some blown apart skulls. I saw his workshop. I'll post that picture up. These were taken with my cell phone, by the way, so I know they're not perfect, but you get the idea. My cell phone is shitty for pictures. His collection is really cool, as you can see by the pictures. And if you've seen the show Oddities on there, he's acquired some new things. It's like a museum. You could spend a small museum, but you could spend an hour or more in there. I was there for 45 minutes, and I don't think I saw everything or picked out every little detail. It was just a really cool, eclectic collection of things. So anyways, after saying goodbye, I head back over the Williamsburg Bridge to go to Obscura Antiques and Oddities, which is what the TV show is based around on the Science Channel. And I go in there, and I spend a half hour in there. I did not get to meet Mike or Evan, but I met a really nice lady working there named Mary, and she had no problem answering my questions. I must have spent a half hour in there, maybe 40 minutes, just looking around. It's a really small store. The cameras on TV make it look bigger, but it's really small. But there's a lot to see and a lot to buy. It is just amazing. All these little tins, and there's a full skeleton in there. in a coffin, I think. I don't remember. There's just so much, like I said, I didn't spend enough time there to see everything either. But I did buy a few small things you'll see pictured here. I bought a German landmine flag, a little tin, you'll see that in the picture right here. I bought Colin a African porcupine quill. Very interesting and out there things. There was also, if they would have had a cat fetus in a jar, I would have bought it for my wife for Christmas. But they had a pig fetus, they had 2 pig fetuses and a rat fetus. They were really cool, but the wife likes cats, so I would have got the cat fetus. They were only $125 and $175. After that, I sat in traffic and I wanted to go by One World Trade Center and see the build and maybe occupy Wall Street, but it's just the traffic was too bad. It was after 7 o'clock at night already on a Sunday, and I had to work Monday morning. So I ended up I did go by the Ghostbusters firehouse. You'll see some pictures here, and that was really cool. I wanted to knock on the door, and because I know they have other Ghostbusters memorabilia inside, and from what I've been told, the firefighters there are really nice. I just didn't want to knock on the door and bother. They might have been having supper. It was late. If it would have been earlier, maybe. That's about it. Follow me on Facebook. Like my Facebook page. Follow me on Twitter. You see my Google Plus page linked down below. And my Twitter, all those are linked down below. Thanks for watching. Oh, he's going on YouTube.